Hi, I'm Steve Barlow. This is the Humanised Workforce Future You podcast video, where we're talking about perceptions of the future, issues that we need to be aware of, and their role in a rapidly changing work and life environment.
Hi, I'm Craig Saffin. The Humanised Workforce Future You podcast series is focused on the key factors evolving to create a more humanised workforce and how people from all walks of life are creating their future selves. Interesting.
You know,
so if you create that environment, then I suppose it should have that flow-on effect to, sorry about the pun there, but flow-on effect to the team, where they can actually feel comfortable to establish that way of working as well. Would you agree?
Yeah, that's right. And this is where the concepts that we've talked about before, like the psychological safety concept.
Correct. Yeah, they were related.
And the change fitness concept as well,
Mm.
where, learning to do these things might be threatening for some people.
Mm.
But if they're in a supportive environment where it's okay not to be good at it, it's okay if that's where you're starting from. If you're starting from, I turn up to my desk and I just can't seem to get anything down on paper. Well, that's just where you're starting from. You've got to learn bit by bit how to do this thing.
Yeah. So it's about I suppose it's what you're talking about is the antithesis to having a chaotic day, isn't it really? So if you have these you're organized and you've taken the moment to compose yourself, and then you're very have a very deliberate approach, then this would be all conducive to creating a flow environment, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I mean the stakes are high because at the end of the days you're never going to get the day back again. What you don't get done, you just don't get done that day, and that time has slipped away. So if you are able to get in the flow and you can train yourself to do that, you'll be more productive, you'll get more done, and you'll feel better about it. You'll feel more engaged, you'll feel like you've achieved more, and you've become the best that you can be. But you've got to, we've all got to learn. We're all on that journey, and no one does it perfectly.
Some of the related topics to this, because in some ways we're talking about a positive mental attitude, and you're talking about being in the right frame mentally, right? So, and you're talking about being positive, I suppose, and also focus on something. So there's a lot of related topics here. You were talking about psychological safety, which is a related topic. So there's a lot of related things here that bounce off each other to create an optimal leadership and work environment, aren't they?
I mean, it's a form of knowledge. It's a form of knowledge. It's a set of skills, which is a sort of practical knowledge, and
a way of working, right?
And way of working. And it's better to have it than not to have it. It's better to be able to get in that flow state and to be able to do it often than never to be able to do it. And so there's benefits to it. There's benefits to you. There's benefits to the organization. And then you can teach other people how to do it. And that's how you build a productive team.
It's interesting that even one of the interviews we did a while back now is that we were talking about architecture and the design of the office, and how one of the people we interviewed was talking about how the open office is probably dead now, not partly because of COVID and the spread of disease in the office, but also because of the ineffective or inefficiencies in working in a noisy environment or an open environment. So this is also related to what you're talking about. It's not just the mental or the leadership capability, but it's the physical work environment, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, some environments support you and you feel like you can get in there and do some good stuff, and other environments just distract you.
Yes.
And that doesn't help. Yeah, that's right. I've worked in those open environments too, and I didn't like them.
Yeah, it's interesting about the work from home piece is if you are lucky enough, like I have a very quiet office where I can just go to in my place and work, but I realize that not everyone has that. but I really appreciate it actually now more than before the pandemic. It's a place where I can go and just focus. And when I get into the zone or into the flow, like you're describing, then I can. It's amazing what you can get done. And then after that, you think, oh, right, it's only been 2 hours has gone by, but I've achieved all of this. So
right.
So I 100% agree with what you're saying. So that's
Cool.
a very interesting discussion. So the most important thing to come out of this for me today, I suppose, is that there are many ways in which you can set yourself up for success in the day to get into the flow. Some people do cycling, some people do running, some people do walking around lakes and beaches, and others do meditation or go to yoga, Pilates and so on. But there's that physical piece where you may be in a group, but sometimes you're just on your own and you're just trying to get your head straight and ready and to solve a few problems and to work out what you're going to prioritize.
Right.
But then when you come in and you are at work, most of the executives we're talking about, the leaders, they're always at work, really, aren't they? They don't switch off. But it's a real skill, some subconscious part about it. But the most important thing that you mentioned to me is that it is a habit and a little bit of a discipline that you're trying to establish in your day-to-day life. What is your key takeout for this?
Yeah, well, and I think also it's probably important to say that flow's not everything. Yeah. You know, there are different aspects of our lives, and there are times when we shouldn't be sitting in our desk or doing our work, you know, and being in the flow because there's family members and there's other responsibilities. We need to be in the flow in different areas of our lives and to sort of maintain the balance, keep everything in balance as much as we can.
Balance, yeah. Because if I just play devil's advocate for a minute, one thing that I heard, if you are in that zone, then you may be not aware of other stuff that's going on around, right? So
well, that's right. That's
so
right.
Focused,
so
right?
That's right. So you may be unavailable to things that you should be available to. So
that's right. Yeah. But anyhow, I think it's the optimal thing. Hopefully, a lot of the people listening to this have had an experience of it, because it is an amazing experience. And I really appreciate your perspective on it today. Thanks very much, Steve.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching this video on Humanised Workforce Future You. Please leave a rating or review for the series on the medium where you source your videos.
The transcripts for today's video can be found on craigsafin.com. Please subscribe to the series to avoid missing out on future episodes.